Next up, we got explaining Europe to Americans. Now, this is a brand new channel, okay? 2026, I'm starting something new, okay? I want to learn more about the world. Now, I've seen a couple videos on YouTube, talking about Europe and British and just, more countries and continents outside of the USA. But I want to actually go out and learn more. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to come and watch with me. We can learn together. Me personally, I might actually be a dumb American. Not gonna lie. Okay. I don't know nothing about Europe. I'm just be honest. Look, only thing I know is football. It's the only thing I know. I don't know about no laws, nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to learn about the culture and stuff like that. So if y'all want more of these videos, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what other videos y'all want me to react to. Shout out to... Oh, they got something new here? Oh. Okay. I try to scroll down and now I get this. That's kind of sweet. Shout out to Hello Erica. Shout out to Hello Erica for the video. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, hit that sub button.
Europe, the land of weird European movies, the metric system, the relaxed laws of underage drinking, and the starter of both world wars. Lately I've been seeing a lot of information about Europe, and it's been a bit misguided. So here I present to you a little crash course about this part of the world. So let's start off with geography. Unfortunately, or fortunately, Europe does not look like this. It looks like this. Europe has over 40 countries, so it's much more than just France, Germany, and Italy. And saying you visited Europe is a very broad term because right. This part of Europe is very different from this part of Europe.
Okay, so let's kind of see. So we got, actually, no, I'm going to look at an actual picture. Europe, geography, map. Because I did not know, wait, so all of these countries is in Europe? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, Europe low-key goated. I ain't gonna lie. All of these in Europe? No way. Is this it right here? Norway? Norway, Sweden, Finland, Estonia, Latina, Russia, Moscow, Uranus, Europe. Wait. Oh, I think this is Europe, actually. Am I tweaking? Am I stupid? Romania. Oh, yeah, okay. Now I understand. Wow, so basically, pretty much all of the main countries is in Europe. I did not know that. That's kind of crazy. Austria, Hungary, Germany, Ireland. Where's Switzerland? Is Switzerland? Yep, I think Switzerland's right here. England. Wow, I did not know that. Okay. See, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be honest. In high school and middle school, I did not pay attention to geography class, okay? I'm a C student. No cap. Alright, I was just trying to pass. I did not actually sit here and study about the other continents. I didn't. But, hey.
The biggest country, because this part of Europe is very different from this part of Europe. The biggest country in Europe is Russia. And the smallest country in Europe is the Vatican City, which is basically a giant building with a giant park. Europe can be divided depending on how you look at it. It can be divided politically, geographically, or historically. For example, here, the east from the west, and here, the red from the green from the turquoise, or potato-tomato regions. So let's look at the general way of how Europe can be divided. Firstly on the list is, of course, Western Europe. These are the countries that people want to move in, live in, and be born in. They are economically better off and they have a lot of work opportunities. These countries include Germany, France, Austria, Belgium, and if you don't count the British Islands as their separate thing, then they also are in the west of Europe. Wow. Next up we have Northern Europe. A lot of these countries are doing great. or even they're better off in terms of quality of life. Except for Sweden, it's having a rough patch with crimes, apparently. But they're pretty cold, and in the winter it gets really dark, so not a lot of people want to move there necessarily. Not only are they cold.
Wait, what does that mean though? It gets really dark? Wait, hold on. So you mean to tell me Europe gets darker than usual? Huh? It gets really dark? I've never heard that before. How can a place get darker than dark? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that even mean?
Really dark, so not a lot, but they're pretty cold, and in the winter it gets really dark, so...
Really dark? Okay, that just sounds scary, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what that means, like, really? That dark? Like, you know, what about, like, street lights and stuff? You know, it just, like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? How can something get dark? Like, how could you just be walking around the city just completely dark, though? Like, yeah, places, obviously, once it gets dark outside, everything is dark without no lights. Duh. Right? But it gets really dark. Like, it's just, like, no lights, and it's just dark. It's, like, you just can't see nothing. Even with lights. You can't see them with lights.
Of quality of life.
No, that's
Except
crazy.
for Sweden, it's having a rough patch with crimes.
I don't know though.
Apparently, but they're pretty cold, and in the winter it gets really dark. So not a lot of people want to move there necessarily.
That's scary.
Not only are they cold when it comes to weather, but also when it comes to their friendliness scale. They're usually considered a bit more unfriendly or reserved. These countries are also referred to as Nordic or Scandinavian countries. They have a lot of Viking heritage, and
Wait,
they
what? Scandinavian?
to as
What?
Nordic or Scandinavian countries.
Finland is not Scandinavia? Huh? Bro, y'all know I'm not that smart, bro. Y'all using these big ass words like I can understand this. Scandinavian refers to cultural, linguistic, and geographic region of Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Okay.
They have reserved. These countries are also referred to as Nordic or Scandinavian countries. They have a lot of Viking heritage, and they like to fish. They have a lot of fish and water around them. Moving on to Southern Europe. These are the countries that people like to visit on vacation. They're warm, maybe too warm for some people, and by some people I mean me. They have great food and wine, they're pretty friendly, and some of them like to take naps in the middle of the day, which sounds like a dream.
Right.
But their economy is not doing that great.
Oh.
And if you're wondering why is this section a darker orange, well, I'll get to that in a bit. And now we have Eastern Europe.
Dang! That's Eastern Europe? Okay. First of all, what is this right here? I want to know what this big continent is.
Well, the problem with Eastern Europe is that nobody wants to be called Eastern Europe.
Oh,
This
okay.
division is based on the time when the Fire Nation attacked, so a lot of these countries were occupied. Since East of Europe is not the best area to be associated with, countries like to identify themselves with other names. For example, Romania, Croatia likes to be called the Balkans. Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are the Baltics, but to be honest, they're quite high up geographically, so maybe they could be considered even Northern Europe. Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia likes to be called the Central Europe. And now we're left with countries that are not doing that great.
Dang.
For multiple reasons. And I would say maybe they would rather be called Slavic countries rather than Eastern Europe. You can be both, but one of them sounds a bit more cool than the other one. So if you agree with the concept of Central Europe, then scratch whatever I said before about Europe looking like this. Now Europe looks like this. And I have to say I have nothing against being called Central Europe or the existence of Central Europe. I think it's just funny how nobody wants to be called Eastern European. So then lastly, we have Central Europe. Basically all the German-speaking countries and more. These countries are located in the core economic region of Europe. They have stable governments and a relatively high quality of life. And these countries also love beer, and they like to fight on who drinks the most beer. This is an interesting correlation I found. Not that it's related to geography.
Okay, so beer is a big thing in Central Europe. Okay, interesting. Wait, now I think I've heard of like, I think I learned this from Family Guy, by the way. Because I think Peter was Ireland or something like that. Or like Scottish. It was something he was. I think it was Ireland though. And he was like obsessed with beer. So like, is Ireland in Central Europe? I don't know. That might have been a wrong
quality of life. And these countries also love beer. And they like to fight on who drinks the most beer. This is an interesting correlation I found. Not that it's related to geography, but it's an interesting fact. With all that said, the number one thing you should remember is that Europe is not a country. It is a continent that has a lot of countries.
Oh, and wait, hold on. I'm calling. Oh my God. No. No. I've been calling all of these continents, bro. First of all, I need to learn what is Earth, bro? I don't even know what the Earth is. I don't know what's continents, countries. So a continent is made up of countries. It's like I'm going back to school here. Okay. By the way, I am in college, American college. Okay, so I'm not just dumb as a box of rocks. Not all the time. Okay, I might have used ChatGPT, just maybe, but I'm still here. Okay. Anyways, though, it's time to go back to school, bro. Okay, it's no way I can't even decipher what a continent versus a country is. You know what? Maybe it's not even my fault though. If you think about it. What if this American school system failed? You know, maybe that's what it was. I'm trying to blame myself. No. The school system sucks. You know, I wonder if it's a video out here that talks about like Europe school system versus America. I know it is. I just know it is.
Not a country. It is.
I actually want to know about the school system.
One thing you should remember is that Europe is not a country. It is a continent that has a lot of countries. And if you know where the capital of Paris, Berlin, and London is, you're doing a good job, and you should pat yourself on the shoulder.
Do I know where what?
Capital of Paris, Berlin, and London is.
No,
you're doing a good job, and you should pat yourself on the shoulder.
Let's see. I think London might be United Kingdom. Am I smart? Hey, hold on. Capital of what is it? London. UK, there you go. Yeah. See? I ain't that stupid. You know what I'm saying? No, somebody did just tell me that the other day, though.
And I definitely don't expect you to know where Malta is.
Come on now.
Which is
I got all A's in school.
Shoulder. Capital of Paris, Berlin, and London is. You're doing a good job, and you should pat yourself on the shoulder. And I definitely don't expect you to know where Malta is.
Malta?
Which is right here.
Oh.
And it's very small. I don't even expect people from France to know the capital of Latvia. So if you know a little bit about this place...
Hold on real quick. Let me turn this fan off. Hold on real quick. All right.
Already pretty good. A little bit about this place. It's already pretty good. I think one of the most important things is just not to make assumptions. For example, calling Lithuania basically Russia is very disrespectful. Or Ireland is the same as UK. Not a good thing to do. So maybe open a map before opening your mouth. Just a friendly suggestion.
Okay.
And also maybe it's helpful to know the difference between Europe and European Union, which I'll cover that in a bit. And now we can move on to history.
Here we go.
Well, Europeans have a lot of beef with each other.
Oh.
UK and Ireland, Romania and Hungary, Portugal and Spain, and Russia with basically everybody in the world.
Oh.
And it's all because of history. Europe has a lot of it. There were a lot of agreements, disagreements, and wars over land in the past and also now. Some stuff is serious and some stuff ended up countries just making fun of each other. For example, Austria making fun of Germany, France and the Netherlands making fun of Belgium, or the whole Scandinavian area making fun of the Danes because of their weird sounding language. Because of history, we have cities like this that were weirdly divided between Netherlands and Belgium. They even have houses that are divided into two, so...
What?
Pretty strange. And we...
What? No. Stop playing, bro. No. No. This cannot be real life. Stop. You mean to tell me y'all divided right down the middle and y'all so divided, y'all houses is divided. Like, bro, is it even that serious, bro? Y'all literally living in the same house. So at that point, like, you know, you live in literally. That means your ops is literally your neighbors. Huh? I haven't even heard that before. Like no, this gotta be no.
Weirdly divided.
This can't be real life.
Between Netherlands and Belgium. They even have houses that are divided into two. So, pretty strange. And we also have a city like this in the Baltics between Estonia and Latvia. Then when you compare Europe to the US, you can see that America is actually bigger in size than Europe. Much bigger. Europe.
Oh, you said what? Say it again.
Europe to the US, you can see that America is actually bigger in size than Europe. Much bigger.
Wait, so this is considered all of Europe then? Wow, okay.
Bigger. Europe is 2/3 of America. But the main difference between these two is that one of them is much more densely populated than the other. The US has...
So I see it. So Europe has more water than America. America has just straight land. It's kind of crazy. America has straight land, and this has a lot of water. I wonder what these waters are. What are these waters? Interesting. So London is on its own. Ireland is on its own. France is on its own. Spain, Italy, Greece. Okay.
100 million people living in there. Much more densely populated than the other. The US has 300. Europe is 2/3 of America. But the main difference between these two is that one of them is much more densely populated than the other. The US has 300 million people living in there, and Europe has 700 million. And yet they're smaller in size.
What? 700 million? USA only has 330 million? So imagine almost 400 more people. 400 million more people. Now let me ask you this. Is the countries bigger? Like, how can 300 or 400 more million people fit in these countries? Is the countries have to be like bigger? But it says, it literally says this is the exact size right here. So how are all these people fitting in here? Like, what? And y'all have waters? How are y'all fitting in these people? I'm confused. No. I'm confused right now. And this is the most replayed or no? Or the beginning is? No, this is crazy.
These two is that one of them is much more densely populated than the other. The US has 300 million people living in there, and Europe has 700 million. And yet they're smaller in size. Each country here has their own rules, their own languages, their own culture, and so a more accurate comparison would be something like this. Every country is their own little America. And what I mean by that, we can take a look at Germany, for example. The country is divided into 16 states, and this Germany is very different. They also sound very different. When they talk to each other, they might not even understand each other. Plus, we also have Austria right here that also speaks German, but their German is very different from the standard German. But they are right next to each other.
Yeah. This is too much right here, bro. No, this can't be. No. I refuse, bro. I refuse. It's literally no way. Maybe it's right, bro. Now, I have seen memes. They talking about America. People in America think that America is literally the only thing in life. Maybe it's true. Okay, because how can two different states in the same country not even understand each other? That's how crazy. That's how different the languages is. How, bro? How? It don't matter how bad somebody's accent is. I could be from Detroit, which I am from. I'm from Michigan. I could be from Michigan and talk to somebody from down south. They always have accents. But I still understand what they're saying. You know, they might use some different language. but I still know what they're saying, and I can tell they have an accent. You mean to tell me y'all accent's so different that y'all might not even understand each other?
But their German is very different.
What?
We also have Austria right here that also speaks German, but their German is very different from the standard German. But they are right next to each other. So how did this happen? History and culture and a lot of the stuff in between. Then we can also look at UK, which is fully separated from Europe by water. Here the country is divided into 4 regions, which is Scotland, Wales, England, and Northern Ireland. But if you look deeper under the surface, it's also divided into smaller regions.
What?
And if you try harder, you can also divide it into just towns, cities, and villages. The UK is an interesting example of how the language and the culture developed a little bit differently, even though they're right next to each other and the country is quite small. Here, people can recognize your status or class based on where you grew up in, which is a thing, I suppose. Now, let's talk about the economical state of Europe. Firstly, let's cover what is the EU, or European Union, as they say. It is an international organization comprising of 27 countries that govern common social, economic, and security policies. EU is in Europe, but the whole Europe is not in the EU. Just like a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square. What I mean is that not all European countries are a part of this. Some do want to join and some want to leave, for a variety of reasons. Wow. From my understanding, this is the EU flag.
Let me see, look at this. The European Union current member is dark blue. Okay. Official candidate. Okay. Recognized as potential candidate. Where's the potential candidates at? I don't see it. Former members.
Not the Europe flag, but we do use it as a Europe flag to represent the unity of Europe, which is a little bit confusing, but there's not much I can do. The nice part about the EU is that a lot of European countries share the same currency, which is the euro currency.
Okay.
Not all of them use euros, but many do. These countries like to stick to their currencies, so if you try and buy some groceries with your American dollars, you will most likely be rejected. Unless you're in an airport or some kind of tourist hotspot, then it will not go that well. I mean...
Yo, they don't even take American dollars, yo. Really? Now, I might be a dumb American again, okay. But I thought that American dollars... I thought that if I was to go to another country and I pulled out $1, or say I pulled out $100, I would think that this currency worth more than y'all currency. Then I would think that y'all would like take my currency faster, because it'd be like this is like a gold mine. Like, oh my god, you're giving me so much more money than what ours is worth, or something like that. I don't know. I don't even know if EU, or can I say EU? I don't know. I shouldn't. Euro. I don't even know if euros is less in currency than American dollars.
Or some kind of tourist hotspot, then it will not go that well. I mean, would you sell me a sandwich if I say I have 200,000 Animal Crossing bells? Probably not. And if you said yes, I'm not sure about your business practice.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Sandwich if I say I have 200,000 Animal Crossing bells?
Wait, what? So you mean tell me, so y'all really don't use USD? I mean, obviously y'all use the euros, obviously. But at the same time, why don't y'all use USD? If it's worth more. That don't even make sense. If you have something that's worth more, why would you not use it on something that's less? Like that's like if I had more money, you know? It's like, why do y'all not accept it? Like what's the disconnect on why y'all can't accept USD? Obviously everybody use euros. But if y'all have if USD is a thing and it's worth more, why can't you accept that as well? You know? I mean, it kind of makes sense though. Because somebody came over here and they said, I'm going to use a euro. What would we say? They'd be like, no, we don't accept euros. What are you talking about? So it kind of makes sense though. Okay, I'm having a revelation right here. Okay, this is why I'm watching these videos, because I'm actually understanding now. Because I'm trying to think, like, if people came over here with euros and they try to go to Target, all right, I don't know if y'all know what a Target is, but if they just go to Target or any type of, store, you know what I'm saying, and they try to use euros in America, I don't think not one store would let you use it. Even online sites don't let you use different currencies. Like, I only see that on like them bougie sites, or not bougie, but like off-brand sites. Those are the only type of sites I might see, like this type of currency, and I might see like Bitcoins or like crypto and stuff like that. Only like them back shady sites. You feel me? But like a normal site, they're using USD. They're not worried about no euros. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's probably the same exact thing. They're using euros. They're not worried about no USD.
Of 200,000 Animal Crossing bells? Probably not. And if you said yes, I'm not sure about your business practices. 20 EU countries use euros, but in total it's 27, because some countries decided to make it their currency unofficially. But not all EU countries switched to euro, and some of them still stayed with their old currency. So if you're traveling to those countries, check ahead what kind of money do they use. And ignore UK, because I forgot they decided to leave, or they already left, so they're just doing their own thing. But many countries over the years did switch to using euros, which is very convenient when you travel. But as a Latvian, I remember having lats and being very sad that we're gonna switch to euros now. The only reason I didn't want it to happen because I really liked this coin, and nostalgia reasons and cultural reasons. But now I don't have to exchange my currency or try and always calculate in my mind how much is this in lats or how much is this in euros. So overall, a good thing, I think. You can let me know if you have an opinion about this. Now, the last thing on our list is culture. America is not Europe, and Europe is not America.
Right.
We run things differently around here. Okay. Like, for example, it's very rare to find a building that has central AC. Most of us just have a big heat wave in the middle of the summer and we suffer for 2 weeks and then it's all good. But the normal AC is a bit more common in Southern Europe, but not everywhere. In some ways, we're not that different from you.
Wait, no.
And maybe
Stop.
Summer and we suffer for 2 weeks and then it's all good.
Wait, what you mean by 2 weeks? Y'all summer's 2 weeks long? Hold on.
Big heat wave in the middle of the summer and we suffer for 2 weeks and then it's all good. But the normal AC is a bit more common in Southern Europe, but not everywhere. In some ways, we're not that different from you. And maybe we're not even better than you, but we certainly think we are. I mean, we also have McDonald's, and we do like...
Oh. Okay. All right. Taking shots here? I'm just watching your video.
But we certainly think we are. I mean...
Let me know in the comments. Do you think that Europe is better than America? Let me know in the comments.
We also...
And also, if you watching this far, we are about 28 minutes into the video. So if you're watching this far, number one, I love you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play a little game. The game is to comment a word. Word of the day. Comment Europe. So I know you watching.
We have McDonald's and we do like our convenient cars, but we're not that obsessed with it. And our cities don't look like medieval.
Wait, hold on. McDonald's is from Europe? Wait, am I tweaking?
Certainly think we are. I mean, we also have McDonald's and we do like our convenient cars, but we're not.
Wait. Do y'all know what Target is? Let me see. Target in Europe. Y'all might not even know what Target is. Oh, wow. There's no Targets in Europe. That's crazy. So y'all really don't know what Target is. Dang, that's tough. So y'all know what McDonald's is. McDonald's in Europe. Okay. McDonald's in Europe probably totally different. Now, you know what we need to do, chat? We need to eat European food, bro. Oh my God. That would be amazing. Let me know in the comments if y'all want me to eat European food, try y'all food and stuff like that. I wonder if the food tastes different. I could try McDonald's food from here and McDonald's food from Europe and see. Now, I don't know how I would do that though, because like, how do I order? You know, maybe I'll travel to Europe one day. Yeah. We could do a lot with this channel, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is my first video on here. I have a bright future for this. You know what I'm saying? I want to see where we make it to. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's January 11th, 2026. Okay? So, if you watching this, you know, years later or whatever like that, let me know where I made it to in this channel. You know what I'm saying? January 11th, 2026. 0 subscribers. So, one day I do want to travel to Europe, try their food, try their culture and stuff like that. You know, but if I can't as of right now, I think I would just try to order something from Europe to here and then eat it. So say it's like some candy or like some chips or something like that, or like juice. You know, I think I seen like Fanta. Europe has different Fanta than us or something like that. I don't know.
Have McDonald's.
So yeah, I can try you guys'
like
food
our
and stuff.
Convenient cars, but we're not that obsessed with it. And our cities don't look like the medieval times. I mean, some do, but we certainly stopped throwing trash out of the windows and burning witches. As mentioned before, Europe has a lot of countries, so there's a lot of different cultures, foods, traditions, and preferences. And so I gathered some cultural things to generally know about Europe. The first thing on my list is that you're probably not Italian. If the only thing that makes you Italian is that you took an ancestry test that told you that your blood is 57% Italian, you're probably not Italian. It doesn't count if you have Italian ancestors from the 1800s that settled to America. If you didn't grow up in Italy, you don't have any Italian relatives like grandparents, parents, or aunts and uncles.
No,
and
I do love Italian, you know what I'm saying? I love playing Mafia, okay? And like the Mafia whole, you know, drug boss and stuff like that. That's the type of stuff I like. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I do love Italy.
You don't know how to speak Italian. I'm sorry to say this, but you're not Italian. Being able to pronounce mozzarella correctly or having a family recipe of spaghetti and meatballs doesn't give you an Italian passport. Plus, spaghetti and meatballs is an Italian-American dish. They don't really eat that in Italy. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice fact and it's fun to know where...
You mean to tell me they don't even eat spaghetti and meatballs into... What? Huh? What do they eat? Wait, no. Stop. Bro, am I really... Bro, I was trolling. Hold on, I was trolling earlier. Dang, is it gonna focus? Anyways, I was trolling earlier saying like I'm a dumb American and stuff like that. But I think I am a dumb American. I'm not gonna lie. Cause like, bro, I did not know these things, bro. I'm thinking that, first of all, I thought everybody had Target. Y'all don't know what Target is. Y'all don't know what Target is, bro? Like, no.
An American dish. They don't really eat that in Italy. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice fact and it's fun to know.
So what about pizza? What is pizza again? I don't think pizza is from America. So what is pizza?
Where your ancestors came from.
I forgot where
pizza. But it doesn't mean that you have the right.
Is pizza a American a blank American dish?
It's fun to know where your ancestors came from, but it doesn't mean that you have the right to claim to be this nationality. Then a lot of people here are bilingual, but that does not mean that they know English. Oftentimes in most schools you learn 3 languages: your language, the neighboring country's language, and most likely English or whatever else you want to learn. But that does not mean everybody speaks English or want to speak English. So it's always nice to learn a little bit before you come here. Even just knowing how to say please and thank you is already something. Then thirdly, in Eastern Europe and in Northern Europe, people don't really like small talking with strangers. Plus, walking and smiling alone is considered weird. They probably will think you're crazy. People here are reserved and cold because it probably is cold most of the time, and they don't like to waste their energy on things that don't really matter. So if you
I ain't gonna lie though. Hey, I might need to move to Europe. No cap. Cause I don't like doing that either. You know what I'm saying? I don't like walking and smiling at people. Like, people will smile at me, and I literally walk past them. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I have my own stuff going on. I don't need to worry about smiling at you. Okay? Like, come on now. So, that is one thing I do agree with. No cap. I like that.
See them smiling, it's most likely sincere. Then next we have Sundays. Some countries consider Sunday as a holy day, so a lot of shops and grocery stores are closed. Or they might not be open at their usual schedule.
Right.
Germany and Poland are quite serious about it, so you'll just have to deal with it. Food is also a big part of our culture, so here is a subsection about food in restaurants. Well, first of all, let's talk about additives. The EU is cautious of what we put in our food. As you can see, the fries from McDonald's, here is a list of ingredients in the UK, which I think by that time was part of the EU.
Ingredients... Oh, heck no. Stop. Now, we know America definitely puts random stuff in our stuff. We know that. But, bro, what is this? Potatoes, Canada oil, corn oil, soybean oil, hydromazium soybean oil, natural beef. What? Dextrose. Sodium acid. Bro, I can't even say these words. What is this? Ugh. I ain't gonna lie. You know what's even crazier, bro? I be eating food now. Like, I literally can't even eat fast food. I literally cannot eat fast food. Think about that. I can't eat fast food, bro. I can't. I literally can't. I can't eat fast food. You know what I'm saying? Every time I eat McDonald's, Wendy's, you know, I just tried Five Guys for the first time in like years, and that's making my stomach hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if you guys even know what those restaurants are. Hopefully y'all do. But I just tried those three, and my stomach is hurting, bro. I literally had Five Guys fries yesterday, and my stomach has been hurting for 2 days now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, all this stuff they put in the food, like, it's now getting to a point where, like, and another thing too is I am healthy. So, like, some people in America, they might not even feel it. Like, they might not feel the hurting their stomach and stuff like that because they, like, used to it. Like, their body is used to the bad stuff. But since I eat good, healthy foods, you know, when I eat stuff that has all these extra stuff in it, I feel it hurting my stomach. You know, and I actually kind of like that because it's like now that forces me, like, to not eat fast food. Because when I eat fast food, it hurts. It tastes good, but it hurts my stomach. So which one do I care about more? It tasting good or hurting my stomach? You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing I will say. Even though it's hurting me, it's still helping me. Because, like, the more it hurts me, the more I don't want it. And I probably should eat it if it's making my stomach hurt. So, wow, bro. EU has literally 3 things in their stuff. That's crazy. Here's
a list. You can see the fries from McDonald's. Here is a list of ingredients in the UK, which I think by that time was part of the EU. And here is a list of ingredients that they use in the US. Way more things that I don't know what they are. Don't get me wrong, we have many ingredients that start with the letter E and end with a number, but we are very selective of which ones we want to bring into our club. What I've learned from food theory is that EU takes the approach of guilty until proven innocent. Meaning, if the additives are proven to not be harmful, then they're accepted into our food chain. Each country has their own specialties and traditional foods, so there's lots to experience and to try. So we'll probably find it a little bit weird if you...
What is that? What is that? Wait, whoa. What is this, bro? First of all, what is this? I don't know what this is. I have literally no clue what this is. Don't know what this is, definitely. This looks like a donut almost. I don't know. This looks like potato wedges and tomatoes. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Hey, look. I don't know what this purple thing is right here. Hey.
Foods. So there's lots to experience and to try. So we'll probably find it a little bit weird if you stick to McDonald's and Starbucks and Dunkin' that you can find back at home a 10-minute drive away from your house.
Thanks.
But I do have to say, if you're going to these places to find something new, something that is not sold in your country, then...
Wait, it's that small? It's that small? Bro, what is... Yo. It says McCafe. Wait, that's McDonald's? Wait, huh?
Away from your house. But I do have to say, if you're going to these places to find something
onion
new,
rings?
something
Wait, onion rings is... What is this? You know what I need to do? I need to actually learn the flags. Because I definitely don't want to disrespect you guys' flags. I think this is definitely Japan. This is definitely British, right? This is like Germany. Something like that. Canada. This is like Ireland, maybe? Or like... Yeah, it has to be something like Ireland or something like that. This is British, though. Britain. Has to be.
Sold
Even
in
if
your
I got
country,
6 for 6.
then
3 for 3. Or 6 for 6.
I think it's fine. Not sold. I do have to say, if you're going to these places to find something new, something that is not sold in your country, then I think it's fine. I've done it. For some reason people are judging me for this, but I want to know what a macaron tastes like at a French McDonald's. I'm curious, is it good? Is it bad? Should I buy it again? Speaking of restaurants, prepare yourself that the service will be just okay. They will not go above and beyond to please your every need. They might not be fast and they might not be friendly. They are humans that have emotions and down days and are not full of energy all the time.
Thanks.
And they will leave you alone to eat your food and might not check up on you at all.
Wow.
I've been to plenty of cafes and restaurants where they did have very friendly and good service, but not all of them will be like this. And so just be mentally prepared that they will not take your dish back and give you a refund if you just don't like it. You'll just have to pick something better next time. Then also have tipping. In most countries, waiters receive a fair minimum wage.
Okay.
But it's still minimum wage, so it's quite low. So we do like tipping, but just 5 to 10%. A more modest tip. Or you just round off the bill that the number looks nice. But the tipping etiquette can be different for each country. For example, in Germany, you tip when you pay. But in France, you leave a tip on the table when you leave and already paid. What I hear a lot of people from America living or visiting Europe say that we don't have good Mexican food. And it's true, because Mexico is right here, right next to the United States. And Mexico is pretty far away from Europe. So not a lot of people that know how to cook good Mexican food come to Europe to open Mexican restaurants.
Right.
And that makes sense because we have a whole ocean between us. Don't get me wrong, I would love to go to a Mexican restaurant, but I don't even know how good Mexican food tastes like because I've never been to Mexico. Because again, it's pretty far away. So maybe you should implement geography classes into your school education. Just saying. When visiting restaurants, cafes, and other public places, it is important for us to be spatially aware and not be too loud. Americans have a reputation here in Europe that they're loud and annoying. Maybe they're not necessarily American, they might be Canadian, but just be aware.
It's true. Can't even lie. Americans definitely are loud, you know. Especially some females, too loud. They like to just talk loud on the phone, you know, like, it's probably crazy. I probably have some stories that probably sound crazy to you guys. Like, people will be on the phone while waiting in line for their food. Let me know if that sounds crazy to y'all or not. Like, they'd be on their phone, right? Like FaceTime, where it's on speaker, and they have 5 people behind them. The whole store is quiet. 5 people behind them, 5 people in front of them. And they're on their phone having a conversation. The whole store can hear it. You know? Then it might be some girls in the back bickering and, you know, on TikTok, laughing and joking and, you know what I'm saying, playing around and stuff. So that creates more sound waves.
Of the situation, if it's quiet or not, and how loud you're speaking. Especially in countries like Germany, they take it really seriously and they will point it out that you're being too loud. Now, all that being said, Europe is not a perfect place. We have a lot of issues of our own. Europe is considered to be pretty safe from the rest of the world, but we still have crimes here. And as I said before, Sweden, I'm looking at you. what's happening. Especially in big cities, we have a lot of scams and pickpocketers, and Paris would be the first city that comes to mind that has this issue. Then Europe also has racial discrimination, some countries more than others. But an interesting statement that I've heard is that we dislike or have prejudices against people from other countries rather than skin color, which I think the description also fits. So we also do have our problems. So here are some of my final thoughts. Well, if you're an American living in America, you probably don't really care about the intricacies of being European and living in Europe, and that's okay. We don't know everything about you, and I don't think you should know everything about us. We have our own stuff to deal with, but I do think we can learn from each other. For example, having free public bathrooms, or universal healthcare. If you're planning on visiting European countries, I would suggest just looking up some stuff about what to do or what not to do, and some little language bits and pieces of saying please and thank you. Or just in general, be more aware of your surroundings. Not just for Americans, but for anyone out there in the world. So if you like this video and you like to see more of videos like this, consider me buying me a little tea or coffee.
Hey, this was a great video. I think it's a great start to the channel. Let me know in the comments if y'all want more videos like this. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. I love y'all. Comment down what videos y'all want me to react to. I got you. I love you. And we got